Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Pay homage to the supremely enlightened Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu. I pay homage to my teacher, Lukswami Nonse. Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so today we are going to learn something very, um, very important again to our lives. And I'm going to use few suttas about this kind of same topic taught by the Buddha. I hope we can learn very important things about our life. First, we are going to discuss this sutta from the Majjhima Nikaya, Middle and Discourses of the Buddha. So, who is going to read?
And then may I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With Dhanañjāni. So I have heard at one time the Buddha was staying near Rajagaha in the bamboo grove, the squirrel's feeding ground. Now, at the time, Venerable Sariputta was wandering in the southern hills together with a large sangha of mendicants. Then a certain mendicant who had completed the rainy season residence in Rajagaha went to the southern hills, where he approached Venerable Sariputta and exchanged greetings with him. When the greetings and the polite conversation were over, he sat down to one side. Sariputta said to him, Reverend, I hope the Buddha is healthy and well. He is, Reverend, and I hope that the mendicant Sangha is healthy and well. It is, Reverend. At the rice checkpoint, there is Brahmin named Dhanañjāni. I hope that he is healthy and well. He too is well. But is he diligent? How could he possibly be diligent? Dhanañjāni robs the Brahmins and householders in the name of the king, and he robs the king in the name of the Brahmins and householders. His wife, a lady of faith, who he married from a family of faith, has passed away, and he has taken a new wife who has no faith. Oh, it's bad news to hear that Dhanañjāni is negligent. Hopefully, sometime or other, I'll get to meet him and we have a discussion.
Okay, Sadhu. We rejoice in your reading, Harry. So I think you can understand here's Arhat Sariputta Bhante asked about one of his friends in the lay life, and his name was Dhanañjāni, and Sariputta Bhante wanted to know about his friend. But before he was faithful and he was meeting monks, he was trying to practice good qualities because there was this faithful wife with him all the time, suggesting him to go to the monastery, to give the dana, to take precepts, to meditate. But unfortunately, he lost his Kalyanamitta at home. That faithful wife passed away, and now maybe he started associating with bad friends or whatever. But now he's not keeping precepts and he's losing his faith in the Dhamma. Basically, he's negligent. So Sariputta Bhante was not happy about that, to hear that sad news about his lay life friend. And but he still wanted to help his friend. How these Kalyanamitas think about their friends, trying to always help them again and again, to encourage them following the right direction. It's because of the compassion. And Buddha taught in other suttas, if you have compassion about your friends, your parents, or any loved ones, teach them the Dhamma, teach them about the Four Noble Truths, teach them about the 4 types of mindfulness, teach them the Dhamma. And that is the best way to show your compassion to your friends, relatives, parents, and your loved ones. Who's going to read next?
When Sariputta had stayed in the southern hills as long as he wished, he set out for Rajagaha. Traveling stage by stage, he arrived at Rajagaha, where he stayed in the bamboo grove, the squirrels' feeding ground. Then he robed up in the morning and, taking his bowl and robe, entered Rajagaha for alms. Now at that time, Dhanañjāni was having his cows milked in a cowshed outside the city. Then Sariputta wandered for alms in Rajagaha. After the meal, on his return from alms round, he approached Dhanañjāni. Seeing Sariputta coming off in the distance, Dhanañjāni went to him and said, "Here, Master Sariputta, drink some fresh milk before the mealtime. Enough, Brahmin, I have finished eating for today. I shall be at the root of that tree for the day's meditation. Come see me there." "Yes, sir," replied Dhanañjāni. When Dhanañjāni had finished breakfast, he went to Sariputta and exchanged greetings with him. When the greetings and polite conversation were over, he sat down to one side. Sariputta said to him, "I hope you are diligent, Dhanañjāni." "How can I possibly be diligent, Master Sariputta? I have to provide for my mother and father, my wives and children, and my bond servants and workers. And I have to make the proper offerings to friends and colleagues, relatives and kin, guests, ancestors, deities, and king. And then this body must also be fattened and built up." What do
Okay,
you think that?
Renga, here, let me explain something here. So when Sariputta Bhante asks his friend about being diligent, what did he say? So, are you diligent means, Sariputta Bhante asks, are you practicing the Dhamma? Are you keeping the precepts? Are you practicing meditation, observing 8 precepts? And then he said, "Oh no, I am so busy. I have to find money. I am doing so many jobs." Like, nowadays, many people answer like that. So same answer. I have so many responsibilities. So I am always busy with making money, and also this body must also be fattened and built up means I have to enjoy myself, with worldly pleasures, sense pleasures. So I don't have time basically to think about the Dhamma or making merit. That was his answer. And then Sariputta Bhante knew that his friend was completely going in the wrong direction, and now is the time for him to help his friend.
What do you think, Dhanañjāni? Suppose someone was to behave in an unprincipled and unjust way for the sake of their parents. Because of this, the wardens of hell would drag them to hell. Could they get out of being dragged to hell by pleading that they had acted for the sake of their parents? Or could their parents save them by pleading that the acts had been done for their sake? No, Master.
Yeah, so these actions are referring to the evil actions, bad actions, you do bad actions, but when you are going to reborn in hell, the wardens of hell, when you are already have reborn in hell, the wardens of hell come to you to punish you. And then Sariputta Bhante asks Dhanañjāni, can you tell at that time, or I was doing these evil things, I was negligent, and my intention was to help my parents. Because of them, I was doing these bad things. Will the wardens of hell listen to your words? Will they release you because you are doing evil actions to make your parents happy?
Of course not.
And his answer?
No, Master Sariputta. Rather, even as they were wailing, the wardens of hell would cast them down into hell. What do you think, Dhananjani? Suppose someone was to behave in an unprincipled and unjust way for the sake of their wives and children, bond servants and workers, friends and colleagues, relatives and kin, guests, ancestors, deities, king, fattening and building up their body. Because of this, the wardens of hell would drag them to hell. Could they get out of being dragged to hell by pleading that they had acted for the sake of fattening and building up their body? Save them by pleading that the acts. No, Master Sariputta. Rather, even as they were wailing, the wardens of hell would cast them down into hell.
Sadhu, sadhu. Very just in your reading, Bringer. So this is a very important thing to understand because of the attachment to the loved one, some people think that it's their obligation or their responsibility to make their loved ones happy in any way, and they think it's a good thing that if we make others happy, sometimes you don't care about your actions of earning money, whether you are earning money righteously. Sometimes people try to forget that, thinking that they are helping their family, their loved ones. Because of that attachment, sometimes they don't focus on the way they earn money or the way that they are going to help their loved ones. But this is important to understand. The way we earn money, the way we try to help them really matters. It should be definitely a righteous matter. We cannot put ourselves in danger for the sake of others' happiness. That is very important to understand. In the Dhamma, the true way to help others is that first oneself has to one has to put himself or herself in a safe place. Then only they can help others. There is no way that you can help others by putting yourself in danger and harming yourself. It is not praised by the Buddha or the Arahants, the liberated ones. Because you try to help somebody and you think that you are helping somebody, but you are making lots of bad karma and you will end up being reborn in hell. That is not praised by the Buddha. There should be a wholesome way to help yourself and to help others. It's a kind of a different attitude of the followers of the Buddha. That's a different kind of attitude that we all should develop compared to the attitude sometimes in the ordinary world. Because in the ordinary world, sometimes some people, they are left with regret and remorse, the way how they treated themselves because they were trying to help somebody else in an unrighteous way. Okay, now Sariputta Bhante asks more questions. He asked Dhananjāni more questions about the advantages of being negligent in the Dhamma path. And he asked about options, alternative ways, how you can earn money, how you can do your livelihood, you know. Who is going to read?
I can read, Bhante.
Rob.
Who do you think is better, Dhanañjāni? Someone who, for the sake of their parents, behaves in an unprincipled and unjust manner, or someone who behaves in a principled and just manner? Someone who behaves in a principled and just manner for the sake of their parents. For principled and moral conduct is better than unprincipled and immoral conduct. Dhanañjāni, there are other livelihoods that are both profitable and legitimate. By means of these, it is possible to provide for your parents, avoid bad deeds, and practice the path of goodness. Who do you think is better, Dhanañjāni? Someone who, for the sake of their wives and children, bond servants and workers, friends and colleagues, relatives and kin, guests, ancestors, deities, king, fattening and building up their body, behaves in an unprincipled and unjust manner, or someone who behaves in a principled and just manner? Someone who behaves in a principled and just manner, for principled and moral conduct is better than unprincipled and immoral conduct. Okay, Dhanañjāni, there are other livelihoods that are both profitable and legitimate. By means of these, it is possible to fatten and build up your body, avoid bad deeds, and practice the path of goodness. Then Dhanañjāni, the Brahmin, having approved and agreed with what Venerable Sariputta said, got up from his seat and left.
Okay, so let me explain something here. What is the suggestion of Arahant Sariputta Bhante? What is the suggestion here to his friend?
That there are alternative livelihoods.
Yeah, there are other jobs, you know, you can find, and there are, you know, righteous ways. There's so many other righteous ways to earn money. So you can try for those. Then you can earn some money. You can still support your parents, your family members, friends, relatives. You know, you can enjoy yourself. There are so many other ways. Why don't you try those other ways? That's the suggestion of Arahant Sariputta Bhante. And at the same time, while you are supporting all of those, you get a great benefit. That's to avoid bad deeds. You avoid making bad karma, and you are practicing the Dhamma path at the same time, because you can keep precepts. That's a very important message. And Rob, you can continue.
Sometime later, Dhanañjāni became sick, suffering, gravely ill. Then he addressed a man, "Please, mister, go to the Buddha and in my name bow with your head to his feet. Say to him, 'Sir, the Brahmin Dhanañjāni is sick, suffering, gravely ill. He bows with his head to your feet.' Then go to Venerable Sariputta and in my name bow with your head to his feet. Say to him, 'Sir, the Brahmin Dhanañjāni is sick, suffering, gravely ill. He bows with his head to your feet.' And then say, 'Sir, please visit Dhanañjāni at his home out of compassion.'" Yes, sir, that man replied. He did as Dhanañjāni asked. Sariputta consented in silence. He robed up and taking his bowl and robe, went to Dhanañjāni's home, where he sat on the seat spread out and said to Dhanañjāni, I hope you're keeping well, Dhanañjāni. I hope you're all right. I hope the pain is fading, not growing, that its fading is evident, not its growing. I'm not keeping well, Master Sariputta. I'm not all right. The pain is terrible and growing, not fading. Its growing is evident, not its fading. The winds piercing my head are so severe, it feels like a storm. It feels like a strong man drilling into my head with a sharp point. I'm not keeping well. The pain in my head is so severe, it feels like a strong man tightening a tough leather strap around my head. I'm not keeping well. The winds piercing my belly are so severe, it feels like a deft butcher or their apprentice is slicing my belly open with a meat cleaver. I'm not keeping well. The burning in my body is so severe, it feels like two strong men grabbing a weaker man by the arms to burn and scorch him on a pit of glowing coals. I'm not keeping well, Master Sariputta. I'm not all right. The pain is terrible and growing, not fading. Its growing is evident, not its fading.
Sounds very Ringo. Okay, so this is what happens to all human beings in the end, right? No matter, how rich you are and, people doing so many different jobs with different dreams, different goals in their lives, and suddenly you understand you have grown old and come to the last stage of life. And so it happened to Dhanañjāni's life. And Sariputta Bhante realized that he was spending his last moments of his life, his friend's life, Dhanañjāni, and he realized that he was suffering gravely. He was sick, and maybe he's lying on a bed. But still, the powerful thing is that there is an Arahant sitting in front of him, right? Discussing, and he's going to discuss the Dhamma now with him. That's why in few other places, Buddha taught that if somebody gets to see the Buddha or a disciple of the Buddha at the time of death, there will be amazing results for that person who is dying. Very good opportunities for that person to attain stages of enlightenment, to penetrate deep Dhamma. That's the advantage of having Kalyana Mittas beside you, when you are about to leave this world. Very rarely somebody will get that opportunity, but majority of this world, people are not that fortunate. And now Sariputta Bhante realized that his friend Dhanañjāni was spending the last moments of his life, and he didn't want to talk about his sickness or to console him. He knew that he had to direct his mind in a different direction, not focusing on the pains or the regrets about his unrighteous living. Maybe he practiced precepts and he found a righteous job in the last part of his life. Maybe because we can see that he was sending a message to the Buddha, and also he was inviting Sariputta Bhante to see him. So we can see some faith in him, right? maybe after listening to Sariputta Bhante's advice, he corrected his mistakes, and maybe he found a righteous job and made some effort to follow wholesome qualities. Maybe he changed his life to some extent, at least. So Sariputta Bhante realized that he can still discuss some important things about his future life at the time of his death. That is what is happening here. Next, who is going to read?
May I read, Bhante?
Mm-hmm.
Dhanañjāni, which do you think is better, hell or the animal realm? The animal realm is better. Which do you think is better, the animal realm or the ghost realm? The ghost realm is better. Which do you think is better, the ghost realm or human life? Human life is better. Which do you think is better, human life or as one of the gods of the four great kings? The gods of the four great kings. Which do you think is better, the gods of the four great kings or the gods of the 33? The gods of the 33. Which do you think is better, the gods of the 33 or the gods of Yama? The gods of Yama. Which do you think is better, the gods of Yama or the joyful gods? The joyful gods. Which do you think is better, the joyful gods or the gods who love to create? The gods who love to create. Which do you think is better, the gods who love to create or the gods who control the creations of others? The gods who control the creations of others. Which do you think is better, the gods who control the creations of others or the Brahma realm? Master Sariputta speaks of the Brahma realm. Master Sariputta speaks of the Brahma realm. Then Sariputta thought, these Brahmins are devoted to the Brahma realm. Why don't I teach him a path to the company of Brahma? Dhanañjāni, I shall teach you a path to the company of Brahma. Listen and pay close attention. I will speak. Yes, sir, replied Dhanañjāni. Venerable Sariputta said this.
Okay, very good. Now here, it's a very rare Dhamma conversation, right, between Dhanañjāni, and remember, this is not an ordinary monk talking to a lay person. This is an arahant, enlightened monk. So Sariputta Bhante asks about, like, he starts with the lowest realms, and he knew that how this mind is going to be directed to be born in these different worlds for an ordinary person. If somebody has attained at least the first stage of enlightenment, the situation is completely different. No need to have this kind of a conversation, because that the follower of the Buddha who has attained at least the first stage of enlightenment has already escaped from all these worlds, and there is no danger for him in terms of rebirth, because he is definitely going to be reborn in one of the heavenly worlds, and all the names are mentioned here, or in the Brahma world, or at least in the human world. He has permanently escaped from all the planes of misery. But in this case, you can see the Dhanañjāni is not yet attained at least the first stage of enlightenment. And if you remember the last part of this reading, when he heard Sariputta Bhante explaining and reminding him the Brahma world, he was so excited, because he was worshipping the god Brahma, and he has confidence in the Brahma world, and he heard about his relatives, his ancestors always praising being united with the Brahma after death. So he was basically not a serious practitioner of the Dhamma path. So he was not yet attained the stage of enlightenment, as we can see here. So Sariputta Bhante wanted to take him, show him these different aspects of rebirth and to discuss with him. So he started off with the lowest realm that a human or that a being can be born, which is hell. So now, instead of explaining about the Brahma world in the beginning, Sariputta Bhante wanted to take him gradually from the lowest to the highest of realms. That is what is happening here. So he said hell, animal world is better than hell, and then ghost world is better than animal world. So he knew something about these realms. That's why he could answer like this, because Brahmas, the people who believe in Brahma, normally they believe in rebirth. They believe in different realms. We can see that in other suttas when Brahmas discuss about rebirth with the Buddha. They believe in bad worlds and good worlds. They believe in good karma and bad karma. Yeah, the people who believed rebirth in the Brahma world. So he said human world is better than the ghost world. And then 4 great kings of heaven means Chatu Maharajika heaven is better than the human world. The Tavatins, 33 gods of 33 means Tavatins heaven is better than the Chatu Maharajika heaven. Yama heavenly world is better than the Tavatins heavenly world. Tusita, joyful gods, mean the translation of Tusita heavenly world. Tusita heaven is better than the Yama heaven. And the gods who love to create means the Nimmana Rati heaven. Nimmana Rati heaven is better than the Tusita heaven. And then the gods who control the creations of others means the Paranimita Vasavati heaven. So that heaven is better than the Nimmana Rati heaven. And Dhanañjāni replied, Brahma world is, and this is the end of all the heavenly worlds in the sense realm, and then after the Paranimita Vasavati heaven starts the Brahma realm. So he said Brahma realm is better. When he was asked which is better, Paranimita Vasavati heaven or the Brahma realm, and there he was so excited to hear the Brahma realm, because maybe he had a dream to be born among Brahmas in the Brahma world. And when Sariputta Bhante noticed his happiness, the Dhanañjāni's face, so happy hearing about Brahma world, and Sariputta Bhante thought, okay, these Brahmins are devoted to the Brahma realm. So he was a Brahmin. He was following the Brahmin's religion. So why don't I teach him the path to company of Brahma? Even though Buddha was always teaching the paths to Nibbana, which is not a world, which is not a realm, which is the ultimate liberation, the ultimate goal of the spiritual path. And you are not going to be born in any realm if you attain Nibbana. But sometimes Buddha would teach the path to Brahma world. Sometimes Buddha would teach the path to different heavens. Sometimes people come, like Dhanañjāni. Some Brahmins came to the Buddha and asked, oh, Master Gautama, do you know the path to be born in the Brahma world? So he didn't ask about the path to Nibbana. So then Buddha would explain, oh yes, I know the path to Brahma world. I know very well. I know about Brahmas. So let me teach you the path to Brahma world. So because Buddha taught the path to Brahma world, sometimes Sariputta Bhante knew that teaching too, the path to Brahma world. So that is also important to understand. Sometimes some people don't like to listen don't like monks teaching the path to heaven, teaching the path to Brahma world, and they think, no, I want to learn only about Nibbana and like that. But practically, Buddha was teaching everything. You know, some people would come to the Buddha and ask, Bhante, can you teach us how to live happily in this life? And then Buddha has to answer that. So Buddha would teach about Utthana Sampada. Buddha would explain, this is the way to earn money righteously. This is how you should work hard, not lazy, using strategies. You should be smart to earn money. Like that, Buddha would give some information. And then Araka Sampada. This is how you should save your money. This is how you should invest your money. This is how you should protect your money. Buddha would give instructions. And then Samajivikata. Okay, this is how you should spend your money. This is how you should practice the balanced life, the balanced living, even with examples, with similes. And then Kalyanamitta, also to lead successful life in here, you need to associate with good friends. Like that, Buddha would teach about how to gain happiness in this life. And some people would come to the Buddha and ask, Bhante, can you teach the path to be reborn in heaven after death? Buddha would teach that. And one day, husband and wife went to see the Buddha and asked, Bhante, we want to live happily in this life as husband and wife, and we want to see each other after death. We want to meet again. I want the same husband in next life. And the wife said, and the husband said, I need the same wife next life. What do you think Buddha taught him? Did Buddha ask him to go home? No, I am teaching only Nibbana. You asked the wrong question. No, Buddha explained the way. Buddha explained, okay, I will teach you. This is the way you can live as like a very happy husband and wife in this life, and I will teach you the path to reunite after death. You will meet your husband again after death. You will meet your wife again after death. I will teach you the Dhamma. And that is in the Anguttara Nikaya. And sometimes some Brahmins would come to the Buddha and ask, we heard Master Gautama knows the path to Brahma world. We came here to learn about that. And Buddha says, oh yeah, I know the path to Brahma world. I know everything about Brahma world. So then Buddha would teach the path to Brahma world. Sometimes people come to the Buddha. Remember the last Saturday we learned about Bhadraka Sutta, the Bhadraka Gamini. He came and he asked, I want to know the arising and passing away of suffering, the cause of suffering and end of suffering. Yes, then Buddha taught about that. So Buddha taught about so many things. So it's also important to understand. So here, what did Sariputta Bhante conclude? I should teach him the path to be born in the Brahma world. And this is the path to be born in the Brahma world. Who is going to read?
Okay, can I try, please?
Okay, Linda.
Dhanañjāni, I shall teach you a path to the company of Brahma. Listen and pay close attention. I will speak. Yes, sir, replied Dhanañjāni. Venerable Sariputta said this. And what is a path to companionship with Brahma? Firstly, a mendicant meditates spreading a heart full of love to one direction, and to the second, and to the third, and to the fourth. In the same way above, below, across, everywhere, all around. They spread a heart full of love to the whole world, abundant, expansive, limitless, free of enmity and ill will. This is a path to companionship with Brahma. Furthermore, a mendicant meditates spreading a heart full of compassion. They meditate spreading a heart full of rejoicing. They meditate spreading a heart full of equanimity to one direction, and to the second, and to the third, and to the fourth. In the same way, above, below, across, everywhere, all around, they spread a heart full of equanimity to the whole world, abundant, expansive, limitless, free of enmity and ill will. This is a path to companionship with Brahma.
Sadhu. We rejoice in your reading. So now you can see here path to the Brahma world. If you like, then you can follow the path to Brahma world, but we encourage you to follow the path to Nibbana. And so what is the path to Brahma world? Practicing these 4 types of meditations. Brahma Vihara meditations, Metta meditation, Karuna meditation, Mudita meditation, and Upekha meditation. So loving kindness meditation, we frequently practice that meditation. We do the guided meditations for that. May I be free from anger, be free from ill will, and so on. That is the loving kindness meditation. And Karuna meditation, also we do that as a guided meditation some days. And then Mudita meditation, the developing an appreciating heart when you about others' achievements, others' skills, others' wealth. That's also meditation. And equanimity, developing equanimous mind about different individuals and pain and pleasure, gains and loss, and also developing the mindfulness to understand that everybody is owners of their own karma, and the karma is whatever karma they have done, good or bad, they are the heirs of their karma. So that's the Upekha meditation. And Sariputta Bhante taught this path to be born in the Brahma world. And it's basically practicing meditation. So I think he was so fortunate to receive these instructions from an enlightened monk. And I think because Sariputta Bhante was his lay life friend, and Dhanañjāni has lots of faith and confidence in Sariputta Bhante, lots of love, affection. So he took these instructions to the heart and practiced at the very last moment of his life. That's the power of this Dhamma. Like, even at the last part of your life, if you make some effort to practice these wholesome qualities are very powerful, and they can completely transform somebody's life. That is what we are going to see here now. Okay, so that was the instruction of Arahant Sariputta Bhante, and he truly became, a great Kalyanamitta to his lay life friend Dhanañjāni. And he was thinking about his friend's well-being, happy rebirth, and everything. That's a beautiful quality. And fortunately, he was there at the time of his death. So he did his, duty towards his lay life friend. I think Dhanañjāni, maybe he's young when he was dying due to some sickness. Okay, so now he's so happy to hear Sariputta Bhante's advice. And what does he say? Who is going to read?
I
Bante,
can read Bante.
Mhm.
Ray, did you want to read or?
Well then,
Ray.
Master.
Okay, Ray.
Oh, it's okay, sure. Well then, Master Sariputta, in my name, bow with your head to the Buddha's feet. Say to him, Sir, the Brahmin Dhanañjāni is sick, suffering, gravely ill. He bows with his head to your feet. Then Sariputta, after establishing Dhajani in the inferior Brahma realm, got up from his seat and left while there was still nothing left to do. Not long after Sariputta had departed, Dhanañjāni passed away and was reborn in the Brahma realm. Then the Buddha said to the mendicants, Sariputta, after establishing Dhanañjāni in the inferior Brahma realm, got up from his seat and left while there was still more left to do. Then Sariputta went to the Buddha, bowed, sat down to one side and said, Sir, the Brahmin Dhanañjāni is sick, suffering gravely ill. He bows with his head to your feet. But Sariputta, after establishing Dhanañjāni in the inferior Brahma realm, why did you get up from your seat and leave while there's still more left to do? Sir, I thought the Brahmins were devoted to the Brahman realm. Why did I teach him a path to the company of Brahma? And Sariputta, the Brahmin Dhanañjāni, had passed away and had been reborn in the Brahma realm.
Sounds very just reading. Okay, so everybody thought that Sariputta Bhante did the right thing, but Buddha asked Sariputta Bhante, oh, why did you establish Dhanañjāni in the inferior Brahma realm? So think about that. So compared to the goal that was given to the world by the Buddha, the goal is the Nibbana, the ultimate liberation, freedom from suffering. Compared to that ultimate goal, even the rebirth in the Brahma world is considered inferior. Let alone rebirth in a lower realm, rebirth in human realm, in heavenly realm. That the way that Buddha understands and explains things, he refers to the Brahma world as inferior realm, right? Compared to Nibbana. And Buddha asked, you could teach him the path all the way to attain stages of enlightenment, but you only taught him the path to Brahma world and left. Sariputta Bhante didn't know that he already passed away. With divine eye, Buddha saw that before Sariputta Bhante arrived. And Buddha was sitting, talking to a group of monks, teaching the Dhamma. And at that time, Sariputta Bhante saw, Buddha saw Dhanañjāni, what was happening. Buddha saw everything, the entire discussion which took place at Dhanañjāni's house. Isn't that amazing? Right? Buddha is in a different place. And Buddha also saw Dhanañjāni just passed away, while Sariputta Bhante was on his way to the Buddha. And Buddha asked, so why didn't you teach more Dhamma to him? And Sariputta Bhante honestly said that he thought that Brahmins are devoted to the Brahma realm, and he noticed the excitement on the face of Dhanañjāni when he heard the word Brahma realm. That's why I taught him the path to Brahma world. And Buddha confirmed that Dhanañjāni passed away and took rebirth in the Brahma world. That means he took the advice seriously and was practicing meditation, loving kindness meditation, karuna meditation. I think he took a great effort, to practice these meditations, and that was a great achievement, because otherwise he would have ended up in hell, right? Or animal world, a ghost world. But he surpassed all those worlds. He surpassed all the planes of misery. He surpassed human world. He surpassed heavenly world. And he was reborn in the Brahma world. That's a very big thing. And you see the power of the Kalyanamitta's association. So that is Dhanañjānisutta. Did you learn new things?
Bhante, question. Just wondering. So, what about Dhananjani's, the wrong livelihood that he had? So, is it just an instance, or because of his repentance? And then, I was just thinking that this livelihood to earn more money, in a bad way, but it ended up him going to the Brahma world. So, is
Yeah,
it because of
that's the purpose of following this path.
the?
Even though you make bad karma in the beginning, and you later you realize it and you observe precepts, you find a good job and you find the righteous way and you increase your wholesome side, and that wholesome side is so powerful that it can weaken the results of the bad karma that was accumulated before. That's the whole purpose of following this path, to weaken the bad karma previously accumulated, and also to delete it entirely. That is the whole purpose of following this path. If this path cannot do that, there is no purpose of practicing this. If we carry on the bad karma with us, no matter how hard we follow the Dhamma path, why do we work hard? Because we cannot change. If we cannot change our life, if we cannot weaken the bad karma results coming from the unseen past, why work so hard? Then we cannot change our past. No, this Dhamma can change our past.
My
That is what
guess,
happened with the serial killer Angulimala. He killed thousands of people, but later he became a monk. He took precepts. He abstained from killing. He developed metta, karuna, mudita, upekka. And Angulimala Bhante developed meditation, mindfulness, wisdom, sila, samadhi, panya, and completely eradicate the results of his bad karma in this very life, and became enlightened.
So do you
That's
think,
a
Bante?
beautiful lesson.
So Bante, do you think that when he was sick, and then he described that it looks like somebody is torturing him, the feeling of so much, is it could be a result of his previous wrong livelihood, maybe partially, or not?
Maybe, but yeah, we don't know.
And then the practice of Brahma
Brahma
Vihara is really so powerful and supersede and lead him to the Brahma world.
Yeah, imagine.
I see.
Imagine the power of the Brahma Vihara meditations. And now think about doing impermanent meditation, anicca bhavana, doing vipassana, all these advanced techniques of mindfulness. Think about the power of those.
Thank you, Bante.
And yeah, do you like to learn the story of somebody who attained advanced stages, advanced development of the path, and who surpassed even Dhanañjāni? This is the story.
Bhante, before Bhante continue, can I ask one question, Bhante?
Yes.
The Brahma realm, Bhante, my understanding is associated with attaining the jhana, Bhante, first jhana, second jhana, and so on. Could it be that Dhanañjāni, as he was listening to Bhante Sariputta, could it be attaining those states of mind, Bhante?
Possible, yeah, possible. Developing meditation to very advanced levels. That's the thing, like we cannot judge people, right? We cannot judge people. We cannot say, oh, he was doing so many evil things, bad things, so he will definitely go to a bad world. No, you cannot say. If he gets to meet with Kalyana Mittas and these pure teachings of the Buddha, even at the last moment, an individual can change the destiny. So we cannot judge people. This is a very good the example, right? Yeah, maybe I will teach you that about the individual who attained advanced benefits of the Dhamma, maybe next time, next Saturday.
Namo Buddhaya Bhante.
Okay.
May I ask a question? Aina.
Aina, yes, please ask your question.
Bante, from the sutta we learned today, Dhanañjāni was born in Brahma world. Does it mean that Dhanañjāni was anagami?
No, no, no.
Oh, no?
No, it didn't say that in the sutta. It wasn't there. Because not only anagamis are reborn in the Brahma world.
Oh.
Not only anagamis. Anagamis are reborn. There are 5 Brahma worlds. There only anagamis are reborn. They are called 5 pure abodes. The names of those Brahma worlds are Sudassa, Sudassi, Aviha, Atappa, Sudassi, Sudassi, Akanitta. There are those 5 Brahma worlds. They are only anagamis, non-returners are reborn. And apart from those 5 Brahma worlds, there are other Brahma worlds as well. And in those Brahma worlds, even those who are not anagamis can be reborn. If they develop jhanas, meditation, good meditation levels, and abandon sense desire, especially loving kindness meditation. And they are, these are the names of those other Brahma worlds. Let me show you that. So this is from the very first discourse of the Buddha, Dhammacakkappavattana Okay, so after Brahma, after Paranimitta Vasavasti Brahma world, you can see here, that is the last heavenly world in the sense realm. And then comes the Brahma worlds. In these Brahma worlds, even though they haven't attained non-returning, they can still be born if they practiced meditations well, and if they abandoned 5 hindrances and sense desires. So the first Brahma world is Brahma Parisajja, and the second one is Brahma Purohita. Third one is Maha Brahma, and the next one is Parittaba Brahma world. These are all Brahma worlds. And next one is Appamanaba Brahma world, Abhassara Brahma world, Paritta Subha Brahma world, Appamana Subha Brahma world, Subhakinna Brahma world, Vehapala Brahma world, Aviha Brahma world. And these are the last 5 are for anagamis. Okay, and so Vehapala, Aviha, Atappa, Sudassa, Sudassi, Akanitta. These are the last 5 Brahma worlds, and they are exclusive for non-returners. And the Brahma worlds before that was for the other practitioners. Okay?
I understand now, Bante. Thank you very much.
Very good. Rob, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering about the very start of the sutta. I'm just wondering about your thoughts. That Sariputta asked that question, but is he diligent? I wonder if Sariputta already knew the answer that he was going to get. It seemed like he didn't know the answer, but then why did he ask the question?
I think Sariputta Bhante didn't know that because he didn't meet him for a long time. So, but maybe before Sariputta Bhante moved onto a different state or province, different area of the country, he met his friend and had some conversation and gave some instructions. So Sariputta Bhante assumed that his friend was following those instructions he gave him before he left. But now after a few months or after a few years, he wanted to know whether he was practicing those things, but that's why he asked.
I see. So it had been some time he was checking up on him. I see. Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Good. Any other questions? Anything to related to this sutta or not related to this sutta? Anything you were reading lately or you want to ask anything?
Bhante, can I ask
so-
one more question, please?
Mm-hmm.
Bhante, but is that correct that those beings who are born in the Brahma realm, that is, if they haven't achieved any stages of enlightenment, there is a possibility that they might come down to the lower
Yes,
world
yes,
again?
there are suttas about that. Buddha explains once their lifespan is over, if they by that time, if they haven't attained any stage of enlightenment, they will, yes, there's a possibility that they will be reborn in lower realms.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans, we talked about the Titans a while ago. So my question is, I don't think that, although they are all known for to be very, anger, they have all so much of this anger. But I still believe that there are some good ones. There are some.
Oh, they're good, good Titans.
Yes. Are there?
You are correct. You are correct. Yeah. Because some Titans met the Buddha.
Yeah.
And discussed some Dhamma, and they went for refuge to the Buddha. For one of their names was Paharada, Asura Paharada.
Yes, Bhante, because I was just saying that I think I encountered a sutta or an encounter of Buddha and asuras and the Titans. They're talking about the Dhamma, and then there was one they're comparing about
the ocean.
The Titans, yes, the ocean. There are 8 points in
yeah,
here.
His name was Paharada.
Very nice.
His name was Paharada.
Okay. I see.
He's another leader of Titans. So one leader is Vepachitti, another leader is Paharada, and they're mostly in that sutta you hear that those asuras love ocean, and they mostly live in the
do they live in oceans?
Yeah, you can read about that by reading Paharada Sutta.
Thank you, Bhante.
Good. Any other questions?
Looks like Rob has his hand up.
Rob?
Yeah, just another small curiosity, Bhante. Just when Sariputta was inquiring about Dhanañjāni, he mentioned at the rice checkpoint, there is a Brahmin. The rice checkpoint, is that, I don't know, that's something you could clarify for me? Or is that something that's not really important? I don't know. I guess it's not important, but I'm just curious about it.
There was that phrase there?
The rice checkpoint. He used it. He said that, Reverend, at the rice checkpoint, there is a Brahmin named Dhanañjāni. I hope that he is healthy and well. So he was just describing the location of Dhanañjāni being at the rice checkpoint. I was curious what that meant exactly, a rice checkpoint.
I was curious about that as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
I think that's probably the kind of thing that if you brought the question to the Buddha, he would say, I didn't teach you about these things for a reason, but it is curious.
Yeah. So the rice checkpoint, at the rice checkpoint. Sometimes how do you say that? Some words shouldn't get translated. Some words are the names of villages, names of cities. So we should use the same Pali name for that. If we only in some cases, though I am not talking about this case, but in general, when some words are translated totally different meaning or funny meaning comes. So I have to check here the Pali. Maybe this is the name of the village of that the Dhanañjāni lived. I have to check. So
that's not important. I just thought maybe it was a well-known thing, a rice checkpoint. It sounds kind of
okay.
Yeah.
Let me check the Pali for that.
I wondered about that too.
Bhante, in India, even today, there are some checkpoints where they check for commodities being smuggled out of one region to another region. Because sometimes it's subsidized in one region and people smuggle it and sell it in some other region. So they do have checkpoints where they check for sugar or rice or any item that is typically rationed. So
it can be referred to as a place, right?
No, it could be literally a checkpoint. Yeah, it could be a place near a checkpoint.
Yeah, so maybe his house was close to that.
Yes, Bhante, it's possible.
Right?
Bhante, in Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation is Tandula Pala Gate, Bhante. It's a
so
place.
It's not translated.
Tandula Pala Gate.
Oh, Tandula Pala Gate. So Tandula Pala was not translated there.
No, it was
because
not.
Tandula Pala is the Pali word. See here? Tandula Pali Dware. Dware means gate. So yeah, sometimes
right, so it sounds like Bhikkhu Bodhi translated Tandula Pali as a place and Dvarya as the gate to that place.
You know, maybe this is also correct because as Ben explains, his house was close to this rice checkpoint. And the Pali word for that is Tandula Pala Pali Dware. So you can either use directly the Pali word or the meaning, and in some places, if you translate it, it's correct. Only in some places, if you translate it, it sounds funny. Okay? So I think here it is correct.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Russian, I also know that. So I think Ben said is correct. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Swaminathan, question, Swaminathan.
Mm-hmm.
Supreme Buddha's jnana. Altogether, I think there are 73 jnanas. Could you please direct where to get all the jnanas together? So the wisdom, the Supreme Buddha's...
I can mention you the few names of suttas, so you can read very interesting thing, amazing things about Buddha's knowledges.
Yes.
One sutta you must read is Mahasihanada Sutta. Mahasihanada Sutta about Buddha's Visharada Jnana and also
Asadharana jnana.
Visharada Jnana.
Sometimes there's Shadda Asadharana jnana also, right?
Yeah. Lots of them are explained in the in that Mahasina Sutta, and also the Buddha had a knowledge called Purusindriya Jnana, and you can read that by reading Purusindriya Sutta. And Buddha also had a knowledge called Mahakamma Vibhanga, the great exposition, the analyzing the karma. You can read that about that by reading Mahakamma Vibhanga Sutta. Yeah, there are many suttas about Buddha's extraordinary knowledges, limitless. You cannot count this many knowledges, that many knowledges. It's limitless knowledge.
Yes, Swami, but I wanted to find one particular place. I think once in the monastery we heard lots of knowledges were explained, but I couldn't take notes of all the knowledges at that time.
It's throughout 18,000 discourses, you will read so many different knowledges, extraordinary knowledges of the Buddha.
Yes, Swami. Thank you, Swami.